Om Bhurabhuva Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachorayat. Om Bhurabhuva Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachorayat. Om Bhurabhuva Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachorayat. Om Saishwaraya Vidmahe Satyadevaya Dhimahi Tanna Sarva Prachodayat. Om Saishwaraya Vidmahe Satyadevaya Dhimahi Tanna Sarva Prachodayat. Om Saishwaraya Vidmahe Satyadevaya Dhimahi Tanna Sarva Prachodayat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Ganesha Sharanam Sharanam Ganeshanam. Oh Ganesha Sharanam Sharanam Ganesha. Ganesha Sharanam Sharanam Ganesha. Ganesha Sharanam Sharanam Ganesha. Ganesha Sharanam Sharanam Ganesha. Saisha Sharanam Sharanam Saisha. 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 Ganesha Sharanam Sharanam Ganesha. Ganesha Sharanam Sharanam Ganesha. Oh Ganesha Sharanam Sharanam Ganesha. Ganesha Sharanam Sharanam Ganesha. Saisha Sharanam Sharanam Saisha. Saisha Sharanam Sharanam Saisha. Oh Saisha Sharanam Sharanam Saisha. Saisha Sharanam Sharanam Saisha. Saisha Sharanam Sharanam Saisha. Shivaya Namah Shiva Shivaya Namah Shiva Shivaya Namah Om Namah Shivaya. Shivaya Namah Shiva Shivaya Namah Shiva. Oh Shivaya Namah Shiva Shivaya Namah Shiva. Oh Shivaya Namo Namah Shivaya. Om Shivaya Namo Namah Shivaya. Shivaya Nama Shiva Shivaya Nama Shiva Shivaya Nama Om Nama Shivaya Shivaya Nama Shiva Shivaya Nama Shiva Shiva Nama Om Nama Shivaya Shivaya Nama Shiva Shivaya Nama Shiva Ya Nama Shiva Shivaya Nama Shivaya Nama Shiva Shivaya Nama Shiva Shivaya Nama Shiva Om Shivaya Nama Om Nama Shivaya Shivaya Nama Om Nama Shivaya Shivaya Nama Om Nama. Do people have bhajan books? You shared already? Brothers and sisters, those of you who have devotional songbooks, before we hand over the mic to Panditji, please open your devotional songbooks on page 443 as we sing What a Friend We Have in Jesus. My mother was born into the Arya Samaj religion, as her father was a Pandit in the Arya Samaj religion. Nonetheless, my mother was a great devotee also of Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai Baba, whose ashram she visited many times. She revered and adored Bhagwan Sai as her teacher and as her guru, and therefore she attended many, many Sai satsangs. She also loved hymns. She learned hymns from her mother, and therefore, before we hand over to Panditji, we will sing one of her favorite hymns, which I think many of you will know, on page 443. What a friend we have in Jesus. What a friend we have in Jesus. All our sins and griefs to bear. What a privilege to carry everything to God in prayer. Oh, what peace we often forfeit. Oh, what needless pains we bear. All because we do not carry everything to God in prayer. Have we trials and temptations? Is there trouble anywhere? We should never be discouraged. Take it to the Lord in prayer. Can we find a friend so faithful who will all our sorrows share? Jesus knows our every weakness. Take it to the Lord in prayer. Are we weak and heavy laden, cumbered with a load of care? Precious Savior, still our refuge. Take it to the Lord in prayer. Do thy friend despise, forsake thee? Take it to the Lord in prayer. In his arms he'll take and shield thee. Thou wilt find thy solace there. What a friend we have in Jesus, all our sins and griefs to bear. What a privilege to carry everything to God in prayer. Oh, what peace we often forfeit. Oh, what needless pains we bear. All because we do not carry everything to God in prayer. Panditji.
Namaste. Let us all stand as we join in the opening prayer as we commence the final rites. for Mrs. Indira Chatoorgoon. Let us join in prayer. Om Shano Mitra Shan Varuna Shano Bhavatvaryama Shana Indro Brihaspati Shano Vishnu Rukrama Namo Brahmane Namaste Vayu Tvameva pratyaksham brahmasi Tvameva pratyaksham brahma vadishyami Ritam vadishyami Satyam vadishyami Tanamamavatu Tadvaktaramavatu Avatu mamavatu aktaram. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May you, O Supreme Being, friend of all, the holiest of all, and controller of the universe, be merciful unto us. May you, O Almighty One, Lord of the universe and support of all, endow us with knowledge and power. May you, O omnipresent and omnipotent being, shower your blessings all around us. We bow unto your most powerful and supreme being. You alone are the omniscient one whom we feel within our hearts. We will call you and you alone the true one. Your will is truly revealed in the Vedas, will we obey and preach. We will be truthful in word, deed, and thought. You are our shelter. May you protect us who study and contemplate your nature, who speak only the truth, so that understanding may be firm in your will and never turn away from it. Your will is truth and righteousness. That which is contrary to your will is untruth and unrighteousness. May you again shelter and protect us. O Lord, be merciful and grant this our prayer, for which we shall feel ever and ever grateful. Let there be peace in the heavenly regions, in the middle regions, and on earth. We now join in the bhajan, Uthajag Musafir. It is in the inside of your program. उठ जाग मुसाफिर भोर भई अब रैन कहाँ जो सोवत है जो जागत है सो पावत है जो सोवत है सो खोवत है उठ जाग मुसाफिर भोर भई जो जागत है सो पावत है जो सो तू नींद से आंखें खोल जरा और अपने ईश से ध्यान लगा यह प्रीति करन की रीति नहीं प्रभु जागत है तू सोवत है उठ जाग मुसाफिर भोर भई जो जागत है सो पावत है जो सोवत है जो कल करना है आज कर ले जो आज करना है अब कर ले जब चिड़ियों ने छुग खेत लिया फिर पछताए क्या होवत है। उठ जाग मुसाफिर भोर भई, अब रैन कहाँ जो सोवत है। जो जागत है सो पावत है, जो सोवत है सो खोवत है। नादान भुगत करनी अपनी, है पापी पाप में चैन कहाँ। जब पाप की गठरी शीस धरी, फिर शीस पकड़ क्यों रोवत है। उठ जाग मुसाफिर भोर भई, अब रैन कहाँ जो सोवत है। जो जागत है सो पावत है, जो सोवत है। उठ जाग मुसाफिर भोर भई। You may take your seats, please. As we now join in the Ishwar Stuti Prarthna Upasana, those with the Vedic Upasana, page 24, study of and meditation on the divine. Om Vishwani Deva Savitar Duritani Parasuva Yad Bhadran Chanasuva. Om Hiranyagarbha Samavartachagre Bhutasya Jata Patireka Asit Sadadhar Prithivim Dyamute Mam Kasmai Devaya Havishavid. Om Ya Atmada Baladaya Vishwa Upasate Prashisham Yasya Deva Yasya Chayamritam Yasya Mrityu Kasmai Devaya Havisha Vidhema. Om Ya Pranato Nimishato Mahetvaika Idraja Jagato Babhuva Yaishe Asya Dvipada Chatushpada Kasmai Devaya Havisha Vidhema. Om Ye Nadyarugra Prithivi Chadridha Yena Swahastabhitam Yena Naka Yo Antarikshe Rajaso Vimana Kasmai Devaya Havisha Vidhema. Om Prajapate Natvadetanyanyo Vishwajatani Parita Babhuva Yat Kamaste Juhumastano Astu Vayam Syama Patayo Raina. Om Sano Bandhur Janita Savidhata Dhamani Veda Bhuvanani Vishwa Yatra Deva Amritamanashanas Tritiye Dhamanadhyayaraya. Om Agne Naya Supataraya Asman Vishwani Deva Vayunani Vedwan Yuyodhyasma Juhurana Meno Bhuishtante Namoktim Vidhema. O self-effulgent being, all holy and know of all things, lead us through the path of goodness to prosperity and knowledge, and keep us away from evil deeds. To achieve this end, may we always contemplate your divine nature and be always happy. A seed settles into the soil and waits. Once it germinates, it moves stone and earth to tunnel the shoot that will become its root. The seed projects a second shoot skyward, which will allow it to convert sunlight into the energy it will use to sustain itself for the rest of its life. Drawing upon every resource available, a seed is compelled, I repeat that, a seed is compelled to become the thing it was meant to be. Tree, grass, vine, bush, shrub, or flower. If unsuccessful, it would have died trying, but not before exhausting every last fiber of its being to fulfill its potential. Just like the seed, you are responsible for your life. But unlike the seed, you have a choice. Hurricanes, earthquakes, fires, misfortune, blighted childhoods, abuse, war, and disease are not things that anyone consciously chooses. However, because you choose how you will respond to these circumstances, it is you and only you who in the end have and will determine your destiny. At the heart of this statement is a truth so universal and so simple that I believe you can never achieve the life of your dreams, a life of real meaning and purpose, until you finally grasp it and live it. The core of a fulfilled life is knowing that every moment is a choice. I am the sum of everything I do, or rather, I'm the sum of everything I choose to do. Think and say. How many cups of tea I drink a day? The way I talk to my wife and children. What I read. How I relieve stress. The people with whom I spend my time. If I watch television, and what I watch. The number of hours I work. You see, life is little more than an endless series of moments strung together by a simple thread, choice. As decisions big and small accumulate minute by minute, year by year, they gradually shape a particular fate. You may not recognize that you are always making choices, but that does not change the fact that you are. Admittedly, the world and the people in it are not always just. Yet the more you blame factors outside yourself, your parents, genetics, enemies, taxes, God, government or opposition, the people who betrayed or took advantage of you, bad drivers, traffic jams, the list goes on and on. Right? So the more you blame others, the more you dilute your power and weaken your ability to shape the life toward which your soul is intent on guiding you. Your choices, much more than your circumstances, determine who or what you are. The Brihadaranyaka Upanishad says, you are what your deep driving desire is. As your desire is, so is your will. As your will is, so is your destiny. By connecting to your life purpose, you gather the forces of nature in the same way a seed does when it starts to germinate. Great, sometimes even miraculously seeming achievements become possible when you are doing something with your life that you know in your innermost heart is truly meaningful. The opposite is true. If you know in your heart you are doing something that is a waste of time, then it's meaningless. My intention with this short pravachan this morning is to help you begin to access this same force of dharma. The Vedas teach us that the key to happiness is very simple. First, become clear what your duty or purpose in life is. Second, learn to love it. Let me close with the words of Paramahansa Yoganand, the world-famous author of Autobiography of a Yogi, when he said, "Analyze what you are, what you wish to become, and what shortcomings are impeding you. Decide the nature of your true task, your mission in life. Endeavor to make yourself what you should be and what you want to be." We now join in the Shiv Sankalp Sutra. Let us bow our heads in prayer. Om yajagrato duramudaiti daivam tadu suptasya tathaivaiti durangamam jyotisham jyotirekam tadme manah shiva sankalpamastu. That celestial entity, the mind, which goes far when man is awake and wanders similarly while he is asleep, and which travels far and wide, is only one light of lights. O Lord, may that mind of mine be possessed of noble intentions. Om yena karmanya paso manishino yaje krinvanti vidateshu dhira yada purvam yakshamantah prajanam tanme manah shiva sankalpamastu. Om yat prajanam uta cheto dhritascha yad jyotirantaramritam prajasu yasmanarite kinchana karma kriyate tanme manah shiva sankalpamastu. Om yenidam bhutam bhuvanam bhavishyat parigrihitam amritena sarvam yena yajastayate saptahota tanme manah shiva sankalpamastu. Om yasmin richa samaya jumshi yasmin pratishtitharathana bhavivara yasmin chitam sarvamutam prajanam tanme manah shiva sankalpamastu. Om susharathi rashvani vayan manushyan neniyate bhi shubhirvajinaiva hrit pratishtham yadajiram javishtham tanme manah shiva sankalpamastu. As the skillful charioteer controls his horses by the use of his reins, so does a controlled mind take man to his desired goal. This mind which reposes in the heart is most swift and never ages. O Lord, may that mind of mine be possessed of noble intentions. We now join in the Brahma Stotra. While this is being done, we will be putting the flowers. We'll start first with the garlands. We'll start with you, Anand, to put a garland. And the children in the order, okay? Yeah, make sure you do so. You will come up this way when you do. You will go through there. Just now, huh? Yes, Anna, just give me a minute, huh? Anna, just give me a minute, please. Right. Those with the Vedic Upasana, these mantras are to be found on page 79. Namaste satete jagat karanaya namaste chite sarvalokashrayaya namo dvaita tattvaya mukti pradaya namo brahmane vyapine shashvataya Tvekam sharanyam tvamekam varenyam tvamekam jagatpalakam swaprakasham Tvamekam Jagatkartri Patri Prahartri Tvamekam Param Nischalam Nirvi Bhayanam Bhayam Bhishanam Bhishananam Gati Praninam Pavanam Pavananam Mahochay Padanam Niyantri Tvamekam Parisham Param Rakshanam Rakshananam Bhayanam Bhayam Bhishanam Bhishananam Gati Pravanam Pavanam Pavananam Mahochay Padanam Niyantri Tvamekam Parisham Param Rakshanam Rakshananam Vayam Tvam Smaramo Vayam Tvam Bhajam Vayam Tvam Jagat Sakshirupam Namama Sadikam Nidhanam Niralam Bhamisham Bhavam Bodhipotam Sharanyam Vraja Natasya Kaschit Patirasti Loke Nacheshitana Vachatasya Lingam Sakaranam Karanadhipadhipo Nachasya Kaschit Janita Nachadhipa Chamishwaranam Paramam Maheshwaram Cham Devatanam Paramam Hidevatam Namaste Sati Jagatkaranaya Namaste Chite Sarvalokashrayaya Namo Dvaita Tattvaya Mukti Pradaya Namo Brahmane Vyapine Shashvataya Tvamekam Sharanyam Tvamekam Varenyam Tvamekam Jagatpalakam Swaprakasham Tvamekam Jagatkar Tripatri Prahartri Tvamekam Param Nishalam Nirvikalpam Bhayanam Bhayam Bhishanam Bhishananam Gati Praninam Pavanam Pavananam Mahochay Padanam Niyantri Tvamekam Varisham Param Rakshanam Rakshananam Vayam Tvam Smaramo Vayam Tvam Bhajamo Vayam Tvam Jagat Sakshirupam Namama Sadekam Nidhanam Niralam Bhamisham Ambodipotam Sharanyam Vrajama Natasya Kaschit Patirasti Loke Nacheshitana Vachatasya Chamishwaranam Paramam Maheshwaram Tam Devatanam Paramam Hidevatam patim patinam paramam parastan vidamadevam bhuvaneshamidyam. There are still flowers if anybody would like to come and pay their last respects and view the body for the final time. As this is being done, we will now be led in some devotional songs by Anand. Of course. You need to take the mic off there.
Yeah, Mukesh will come first. Sweet. Share these out, son. Panaji, we can sing bhajan? Yeah? Sai Mata Pita Dina Bandhu Sakha तेरे चरणों में साई मेरा कोटि प्रणाम साई माता पिता दीन बंधु सखा तेरे चरणों में साई मेरा कोटि प्रणाम मुझे शक्ति दो मेरे साई शिवा मेरे साई शिवा मुझे मुक्ति दो 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 मेरे साई शिवा हे मुक्ति दो मेरे साई शिवा साई माता पिता दीन बंधु सखा न बंधु सखा तेरे चरणों में साई मेरा कोटि प्रणाम नो में साई मेरा कोटि प्रणाम साई माता पिता दीन बंधु सखा माता पिता दीन बंधु सखा तेरे चरणों में साई मेरा कोटि प्रणाम मुझे शक्ति दो मेरे साई शिवा दो मेरे साई शिवा मुझे मुक्ति दो मेरे साई शिवा मुक्ति दो मेरे साई शिवा मुझे मुक्ति दो मेरे साई शिवा मुझे मुक्ति दो मेरे साई शिवा साई माता पिता दीन बंधु सखा तेरे चरणों में साई मेरा कोटि प्रणाम. Beloved brothers and sisters, I've shared out for you one of the hymns that my mother loved. She loved singing hymns. Hold this. I hope you all have copies. We sing this together. Sing them over again to me, wonderful words of life. Let me more of their beauty see, wonderful words of life. Words of life and beauty Teach me faith and duty, beautiful words, wonderful words, wonderful words of life. Beautiful words, wonderful words, wonderful words of life. Christ the blessed one to all, wonderful words of life. Sinnerless to the loving call, wonderful words of life. All so freely given, wooing us to heaven. Beautiful words, wonderful words, wonderful words of life. Beautiful words, wonderful words, wonderful words of life. Sweetly echo the gospel call, wonderful words of life. Offer pardon and peace to all, wonderful words of life. Jesus, only Savior, sanctify us forever. Beautiful words, wonderful words, wonderful words of life. Beautiful words, wonderful words, wonderful words of life. I'll now invite my brother Rohan to share a few words with you.
Sairam. Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai Baba has said, death is not a deplorable event. It is the journey's end. The owner getting out of the car when the time is up and the goal is reached. It is a consummation, a happy conclusion, or at least it ought to be, if only all are wise enough to treat it as such and be prepared for it. The body is a house given to you for rent. The owner is God. Live there as long as He wills, thanking Him and paying Him the rent of faith and devotion. Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai Baba also said, the mind merges in the Atma or soul following the death of the body. The Atma or soul individualized in that particular body, when it liberates itself, rushes to different locus or regions. The time spent in these locus is very variable, but suffice to say that it is from one of these locus that the Atma takes rebirth in another body. The fate of man after death is molded by the thought that predominates at the moment of death. The thought is the foundation on which the next birth is built. Whoever at that time remembers me attains my glory, reaches me. In fact, but to get that recollection, a lifetime of practice is needed. When you are engaged in the various duties and obligations of the world, never allow your attention to stray away from God. Be always attentive to the signs of His glory, His mercy, and His omniscience. Cultivate the habit of remembering the Lord with every breath. then only can you remember him with the last breath. Thank you, loving Saira.
Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai Baba has said, "Our body is transient like a water bubble, but life is a long journey. In this journey, we change our bodies many a time as we change our dress. In fact, death is nothing but a change of dress. Death is a dress of life. We change our dresses, but can we change the journey of our life?" Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai Baba also says, "That which is born has also to die. Coming implies going. That which has no birth has no death either. The Atma or soul has no birth, no death, nor can you say it spreads or grows or weakens. It has no history. It is." Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pandit Dhaniram. Where's Panditji? Panditji. Thank you so much for being here today. My mother liked you a lot, and she had a lot of faith, trust, and confidence in you because she felt a kinship with you because of your association with the Arya Samaj movement and because you are a Pandit in the Arya Samaj movement. As you know, her father, she was born into the Arya Samaj movement because her father was also an Arya Samaj Pandit. So thank you so much for being here. She would have certainly loved you, and my sister chose very wisely in having you to look over the ceremonies today. Thank you very much also. Is Candice here? Where's Candice? I'm not seeing Candice. To Belgrove Funeral Home, thank you so much, Candice, for facilitating us and allowing us to do the final rites for our mother's body today. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, you would have noticed that there's no eulogy on the program. There's no, I'm not so sure if the word is eulogy or obituary, but whatever the word is, whether it's eulogy or obituary, you would have noticed that we didn't ask and invite anybody to come up to the podium and speak about my mother. And the reason for that is simply this. We knew that all of you would say the same thing about her. What a lovely, gentle, generous, caring, simple, humble individual she was. We knew that you would all say that, but there was something else. You know, my mother never liked the spotlight. She never liked to be in the front row. You know, so many times she came to the Sai Center for satsangs, and I would say, "Mom, please come in the front row. The front row is empty." She would say, "No, let Camille come and sit down in the front." Like, she's not coming. And she never ever did. She's a lady, if you praised her, if you showered accolades upon her, she would bend her head, and if she had a dupatta, she would pull the dupatta on, because she never really liked the spotlight to be on her. And therefore, what she would like is for the spotlight to be on you, on all of you who took the time and the energy and the effort to come today. And you came, I know, not just with your physical bodies, but I know that all of you would have come with your hearts filled with love and appreciation for her, and your mind filled with loving thoughts and memories of her. Because my mother had a wonderful relationship with everybody, you know, with all with whom she interacted. And she would have said to you, "Thank you for coming to my funeral. Thank you for coming to the final rites for my body." I have to look at the time because Panditji, we have to finish in time for Panditji. So I don't have much longer. You know, in the final hours of her waking life, in the final moments of her conscious life, my mother hugged her daughter, Mala, and thanked her. She kissed her and thanked her. She not only hugged Mala, her daughter, who did such a marvelous job of looking after her. It was indeed most appropriate that she would be with Mala in those last few hours before she slipped imperceptibly into a coma. She thanked also the caregiver, Sumati, who is here. Sumati and Keisha are two wonderful caregivers. And if any of you, all of you getting old, and all of you might need caregivers just now, if you need two caregivers, those two girls are absolutely wonderful. They really looked after my mother with love and dedication, just like my sister. And present also in those last few hours was her son-in-law, Dr. R.P. Miraj. And she not only told my sister how much she loved her, Mala, and the caregiver, how much she loved her, Sumati, but she also told him, thank you, thank you, thank you. Love and gratitude. And that's what my mother would have said to you if she were here in the physical form. You have heard from my brothers that she no longer is in the physical form, of course, but the soul lives on. The soul and the mind live on. And wherever she is, she would want me to say to you how much she loves you and to thank you for all that you all did for her. For all of you in this room, either directly or indirectly, helped to make her life pleasant and happy and memorable and enjoyable. You see, my mother had a son named Anand Chatoorgoon, and that son gave her no end of headache. Every time he write in the papers, she upset. Every time he go on in the media, she said, oh God, why you can't stay silent? Why you have to be speaking in the papers and saying all these things? And when she was upset like that and distressed and distraught, she would call Camille. Am I right, Camille? And she said, Camille, talk to him. Tell him behave himself. She would go to my brother Rohan. Why can't you all talk to this boy? He's so stubborn and so naughty. But the bottom line was that to all of you, you were all there for her in moments of distress. You were there to give her consolation and solace, and you filled her life with love and happiness. Now, that doesn't mean to say that although we didn't invite you to the podium to say a few words, you cannot still send her your love, the vibrations of your love and your gratitude. And she would have been happy to see, in fact, so many of you have come here tonight, this morning, from near and far. Her son, she came from America, and also her grandson, who is also here. And she, who? Granddaughter Kavina. Who? Kavina. You see? Yeah, but he's right, because you see, if I leave anybody out, my mother goes sure buff me. And she'll call the police. Lord, ladies and gentlemen, this mother of mine, she was something else, you know. She was such a fair lady that if, there was a tiff between me and my brother Rohan, would you believe it? My mother got to take his side against me. I said, but Mom, I'm your son. She says, so what if you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. Ladies and gentlemen, this is time for me to close, because she never liked anybody talking about her, and therefore I'm not going to talk about her. That's why we didn't talk about her. I think you all know about her. She would prefer that the spotlight be focused on you. All of you who came, those who even couldn't come, all of you who filled her life with so much joy and happiness and love. And so therefore, from her and for me acting on her behalf, it is love and thank you ever so much for all that you did for her from my mom. Panditji, let me hand over to you for the final rites. Candice, is that good time? Right.
Let us all stand as we join in the closing prayer. Could the children just come get ready to roll the box down to just outside the cremation chamber? Yeah. Can close it for me now, please. Close it for me now, please. Yes, close it.
Did nobody in green again?
No.
Okay.
Let us join in prayer. Tuameva Mata च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देवदेवा त्वमेव सर्वं मम देवदेवा ॐ द्यौ शान्तिरन्तरिक्षगं शान्ति पृथिवी शान्तिरापः शान्ति ओषधयः शान्ति वनस्पतयः शान्तिर्विश्वे देवा शान्तिर्ब्रह्म शान्ति सर्वगं शान्ति शान्तिरे शान्ति सामा शान्तिरेधि ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति. Please remain standing as the body is wheeled to the cremation chamber. Prakash, you are here as well? Yeah. Your brother is, ask your brother to join you as well. Agneye Swaha Om Sumaya Om Lokaya Om Anumate Om Swargaya Lokaya Om Suryam Chakshurgachatu Vatamatma Yam Chagachati Tivincha Dharmana Apo Agachayani Tattaketam Ushreshu Tati Krishna Sharirai Om Ajo Bhagas Tapasatam Tapaswa Tamte Shochis Tapatu Tamte Archi Yaso Shivastano Jata Veras Tabhirvahainam Sukhitamulokam Om Avasrija Punarakepitribhyo Yasta Hutasharati Swadhavi Ayurvasana Upavetu Shesha Sangachatam Tanvajata Vera Om Agnirvarma Paribodhirjayasva Samturna Shapiva Sameda Sacha Ekvad Vishnu Harasa Jardishano Dadri Vidyakshayante Payankayate Swaha Om Yam Tvamagni Samatahas Tamunirvapaya Puna Yam Bhotra Rohatu Pakadurvya Vyartasha Om Pranebhya Sahipatikebhya Om Pritibhyay Om Agnaye Om Antarikshaya Om Vayave Om Dive Om Suryaya Om Digya Om Chandraya Om Nakshetrebhya Om Adhya Om Varunaya Om Nabhyay Om Putaya Om Vache Om Pranaya Om Pranaya Om Chakshushe Om Chakshushe Om Srotraya Om Srotraya Om Suryam Chakshusha Gacha Vatamatma Vivam Cha Gacha Pritivim Cha Dharmavi Apova Gacha Yadi Tatrami Tatrati Hitam Oshadeshu Pratitishta Sharirai Om Sumayekevya Pavate Vitam Eka Upasate Yevyo Madhu Pradavati Kanchi Evapi Gachata Om Ye Chitpurva Rita Sata Rita Jata Rita Vritha Visem Tapasvato Yam Tapuja Api Gachata Om Tapasaye Anar Vishyas Tapasaye Swaryayu Tapoya Chakshire Mastanshi Deva Api Gachata Om Ye Yudhyante Pradhaneshu Shurasuye Tanutaja Yeva Sahasra Dakshinastanshi Deva Api Gachata
Amen.